World leaders urge to ban all trade in wild animals and birds for eating to prevent pandemics.
Here's a summary of the article.
World leaders should halt all commercial trade, legal and illegal, of wild birds and mammals for human consumption to prevent future pandemics, a wildlife expert says in a new scientific paper. Most emerging infectious diseases, including COVID-19, are zoonotic, meaning they pass from wild animals to humans. The pragmatic, most cost-effective action governments can take with immediate effect is to ban the commercial trade of wild birds and mammals for consumption, the document says. A worldwide ban on trade in wild species for consumption would also benefit local people, it argues. Dr. Waltzer, who is executive director of health at the US-based Wildlife Conservation Society, writes, "The commercial use of wildlife for consumption encompassing both legal and illegal trade is poorly regulated with porous boundaries between the two entities." A spokesman for CITES, the Global Agreement on Wildlife Trade, said commercial trade in wildlife may be beneficial to the conservation of species and ecosystems or to the development of local people, adding, any actions designed to address the spread of zoonotic diseases needs to take full account of all their effects on human, animal and environmental health. There have been many calls for bans like this in recent times. These are usually made by groups who oppose all forms of trade in wild species of fauna and flora, regardless of their form, purpose or conservation value. Though the CITES Secretariat respects these views, this is not the policy of the parties to the convention.
This post received a score of 13,000, with an upvote ratio of 97%. Here are the top comments in response to this article.
Because extinction isn't a good enough reason?
Let's be honest, humans are selfish. If they want something, they will rarely think of the environmental impact. And if they are willing to pay, there will be someone ready to do the job. I would say that this is more of a regulatory reason. There is, for instance, legal hunting to be made, to control populations, especially of invasive species. But it will now stop that meat from being sold for food, or at least will let international efforts stop contraband of game.
I'm selfish as fuck, and that's why I think of the environmental impact. I need that shit.
Bruh, imagine no environment. My.
Swine flu, SARS bird flu, mad cow disease. The problem isn't just wild animals. Animal agriculture is terrible for many reasons: pandemic disease, animal cruelty, antibiotic resistance, environmental damage, climate change, poor health, cardiovascular disease, cancer.
I was gonna say, it's rare we get diseases jumping from wild animals to humans. It's the animals that people come into contact with every day that have the biggest risk.
Well, there goes the fishing industry. Which is probably a good thing for the ocean.
Not gonna work without providing solutions to third world nations that rely on bushmeat as their main protein sources. Are we going to help them with affordable farming?
A lot of developing countries have been eating in their own way for a very long time with no major impact. I think the mentality of, why can't we eat this amazing food all the time? Or, let's figure out how we can have this good thing as much as possible, is a modern Western thing that has spread elsewhere. Because advances in technology has empowered them so much that they have come to believe that they can have good things all the time, every time, forever. It might be time for the whole culture to humble itself a bit.
Or why not just enforce food quality standards? Last I checked, Germany doesn't have any problem with the wild deer, boar, or other game that's hunted and sold to markets. Or another developed country like US, with its clean pork industry. Oh wait, the swine flu started in the US. I said enforce. I have no illusions about the CAFOs in this country. At least half of the meat I eat on an annual basis is wild game, partly because of my disagreements with factory farming. Mostly deer and antelope and fish, but ducks and small game make up a decent portion, as well. And hopefully coming soon elk. Seriously, I don't like the factory farming at all, but I understand that as long as people are willing to accept them for what they are just to get cheap meat, then profits will win out.
This video was automatically created by Reddit to speech. The article and comments in this video were selected from Reddit according to their upvotes, and any paraphrasing was performed by smmry.com, without any human intervention.